Well, if you were paying attention to social media last week, specifically on Thursday, there was a tweet by who some will call the king of LeBron James. And this is what he had to say when asked if he thought Gonzaga was a legit national title contender for college basketball. He said, "They tough, love the way they play." He wrote on Twitter, "Amazing pace of play, makes and misses. Ball movement, some dogs and guys that just know how to play the game. And of course, beyond well coached, he's the truth, the shiznit."
The shiznit.
I think on this show, that is just how we need to refer to Mark Few moving forward. As
no other option.
The shiznit, and you'll know who we're talking about. But I'll tell you what, obviously a lot of fun to hear LeBron talking about the Zags, knowing that he's watching, also a lot of fun. But let's talk about who is Bronny James.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are going to use the lazy narrative that he's just LeBron's son. And, he's a good player in his own right. He's a sophomore now at Sierra Canyon. He's ranked number 19 overall in the class of 2023. He's a combo guard. He has one offer so far from Cal at Kentucky, but he's been recruited by Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, UCLA.
He'll have his pick, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of the scouts, what they're saying about him is he just has a feel for the game. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe it's being around basketball your whole life. I think this is a kid that we're going to see grow a lot more into his body. I think he does have a lot of potential the next 2 years to change his game quite a bit. He's also playing on a roster that has just an abundance of talent.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had a chance to play a whole lot. But here's what I want to talk about, is knowing the player that he's expected to become.
Mm-hmm.
Would Gonzaga have a realistic chance of getting LeBron's son, Bronny James, to Spokane?
I mean, the fact that we're sitting here discussing this, man, how cool is that? I really do think Gonzaga has a chance. This is something, obviously, you can't just go outright and say that, now Gonzaga is a leading contender for Bronny James because LeBron tweeted about him. However, this is a player that, I said it earlier, he's going to have his pick. And Gonzaga, I think here's what really helps Gonzaga in this case. Gonzaga has a proven track record of developing players.
Yes, they do.
Whether that's through one season, we've seen guys come in, and by the end of a season, they are tremendously different than what they were at the start of the season. Whether it's over 2 or 3 years, Mark Few and his coaching staff do a great job of putting players in a position to succeed and also improving their weaknesses, right? We see players consistently leave this program better than when they came in. And when you look at a lot of one-and-done schools, they are extremely well coached. Let's not sugarcoat that. Coach Cal, Coach K.
Yeah, Roy Williams.
These guys, man, they are very, very good coaches, Hall of Fame coaches. That being said, they don't necessarily focus on development of guys because they typically have an embarrassment of riches, right? If you want to develop at Duke, you're typically a 3 or 4 year player. That's just kind of the way it goes. And so that is something that really separates Gonzaga kind of from that pack. At this point in Bronny's career, it's a player that I think everyone can agree needs to continue to develop his game. What his game looks like in 2 years, obviously, talked about a little bit. It could be completely different. We don't know exactly. But I think the coaching in particular gives Gonzaga a chance. Because that's my thing with Bronny James. He's going to have his options. He could even go G League, right?
Yeah.
Could go G League. But it's not something, a lot of guys need to go G League. They want to help out their family right away. That's not going to be something that's a worry in the James household. I think LeBron is really going to push Bronny to go where he will succeed and get the best coaching.
Yeah, and LeBron just signed a 2-year extension with the Lakers. We don't know how many more years he has. Some people have said he wants to stay in the league long enough to either play alongside or against his son, which would be a lot of fun to watch. But LeBron's not leaving LA anytime soon. He owns a couple houses down there. He has his media company. And I do think that a West Coast team is a big deal. I think that a lot of Gonzaga's games in WCC play are right down in the LA area. You're talking Pepperdine, talking Loyola Marymount. They have a lot of games right there close to LeBron's home. And, this isn't a kid that his ambitions are just to play Division I basketball. He obviously wants to make it to the NBA. Mm-hmm. And this is now a blue blood, top 10 program in the country, that you're going to get national games. You're going to get put on the national stage with Mark Few and this Bulldog team. And so I think that there is a outside chance of the Bulldogs starting to enter this conversation. That being said, let's not get too excited. Not the first time that LeBron has shown love for a college coach. He's a big Duke fan, big Coach K fan. Coach K was LeBron's coach in 2 different gold medal Olympic, winning teams. So a lot of respect for him. Bronny has taken an unofficial visit. It was with his team to the Duke facilities, but he's gone on record of saying that Coach K is the best. Hope he's still at the helm when my boy comes up. But I do think that is a real conversation to have. If LeBron is still in Los Angeles, is he going to be wanting, Bronny to be playing all the way over in Durham? Or could we see the younger James end up coming up to Spokane to play some college basketball? Only time will tell, but as a Zags fan, it is a lot of fun to even have the conversation.